All right, boys and girls, it's your lucky day, your lucky week. We're going to go through the comprehension tests together. I think there are a few or a couple confusing questions on here that I really would like to go through with you. So we're going to do the whole thing together. So this is an automatic 100% for you. So if you follow along, I will give you time to kind of respond and say your answer, what you think your response is out loud at home. Of course, I can't hear you or see what you're doing. So it's okay if you're incorrect, but go ahead and answer the questions out loud as if Mrs. Wolf was with you or as if I was with you. And then we'll go over the answers all together. All right, so starting with number 1. Who is the narrator of this story? Well, if you listen to my read aloud, we talked about the narrator, and the narrator is who is telling the story. So I want everybody, if you have your book close, if not, don't worry about it. But on the first page, I'm going to reread the first page to you. Martin, Lewis, and I lived in the city. Next door was an old house. No one had lived there for a long time. So here are these boys talking, and they're saying, Martin, Lewis, and I. Okay, Martin, Lewis, and I. So who is the narrator here? Is the narrator the dad? Is it Mikado's dad? An old man? Or is the narrator a young boy? Well, the narrator is calling himself I, and he's talking about himself with his friends, Martin and Lewis. So who is the narrator here? The narrator is a young boy. Answer number 1. The I who is talking in the story is one of the young boys. All right, and we're going to move forward with number 2, which tells us some more information about that narrator. What is the name of the narrator? Is it Martin, Mikado, or the story does not tell us? Okay, so Martin, Lewis, and I. Is the narrator Martin? Is it Mikado who moves in? Or does the story not tell us what the narrator's name is? The story does not tell us what his name is because the story always refers to the narrator as I, because the narrator is talking about himself. So he refers to himself as I. So the story does not tell us the name. Okay? Number 3. Which word does the narrator use to talk about himself? And I just gave you this answer. Does he call himself he, I, or they? And again, I'll read the first sentence here. Martin, Lewis, and I lived in the city. The narrator refers to himself as I because he's talking about himself. Okay? Go ahead and answer those, and then let's go on to the next page here. Number 4, how do the kids know a new family will soon live in the house? How do they know somebody is moving in? The boy asked his mom. Did they run home and say, Mom, what's going on there? The truck comes with boxes. Was the truck unpacking boxes for somebody to move in? The family calls and tells them. Does Mikado's family call up Lewis or Martin or the other little boy and say, hey, we're moving in next door? No, that doesn't happen either. So the only logical answer here that happens in the story, the truck comes with boxes. The truck moves in some boxes and shows that somebody is moving in. Number 5, who moves into the house? Who moves into the city? Is it Lewis, Mikado, or Martin? Who is the new person in town? Mikado. Mikado is the new person moving in. Number 6, which sentence in the story shows that Mikado is good at soccer? So all 3 of these come straight from the story. Do we know he's good at soccer because they say he could keep running and running? Do we know he's good at soccer because they say he learned all of our names by the end of the game? Or do we know he's good at soccer because they say they were glad that Mikado had made some new friends? Which one of those things would make you good at playing soccer? Because they said he could keep running and running. You have to run a lot in the game of soccer. That's pretty much what the whole game is about. So that's what tells us he was good at soccer. Go ahead and turn to your next page. Where did Mikado live before he came to the house? Where was Mikado from? What country did he come from? Japan, a farm, or the store? And I pretty much just gave you the answer already because I said, what country did he come from? He came from Japan. He didn't come from a farm or a store. He came from a different country than what the other boys lived in or where they're from. Number 8. Why do Mikado's mother and father give the boys cookies? Why did they reward them with cookies? To get the boys to go away? They didn't want them in their house? To show the boys how to eat? They were showing them manners and how they should eat cookies? Or to show they are glad for the boys' help? What do you think? They are glad for the boys' help because what did the boys help them do? The boys helped them carry in groceries and things like that after their parents went to the store. And number 9, how do you know the boys like each other? They shake hands with each other? Is that why they like each other? They carry bags into the house? Or they play together all day long? How do we know these boys are becoming friends or they're liking each other? They play together all day long. And number 10, why are the boys glad that Mikado will go to their school? Why are the boys glad that Mikado will go to their school? So they can fly his kites, they will get more cookies, or they will have a new friend. Which one of those tells us why they're so happy about Mikado going to their school? They will have a new friend. Of course, flying kites with him and getting more cookies would be an awesome perk, but that's not why they're excited. They're excited that they have a new friend and that Mikado can do some things with them at his new school. Awesome job, boys and girls. We do have a couple other assignments today, your math and your fluency passage. If you need to see the fluency passage video, go back a couple days on my YouTube and check out that video. I'm not going to repost a new one for today if you need it. But go ahead and make sure your parents time you for 1 minute. And today's your final day with that passage, so hopefully you get the furthest and make sure they log your word count on your tracking page. Awesome job. I hope you have a fantastic week and an even more wonderful weekend. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I miss you all so much, and I hope to talk to you soon.